In this lesson, we're going to be talking about the purposes of the session layer. The session layer is layer 5 of the OSI model, and it's really there to do session management. The application probably manages this. It's probably not something separate. But in terms of an abstract model where we break out specific functionality, the session layer is actually there to do the session management and handle things like authentication and authorization, as well as doing things like recovering a session if information is lost or the session gets somehow abnormally terminated. It's there to do a restoration of the session if those sorts of things happen, so we can bring the session up cleanly again. And there are a number of protocols that actually fit into the session layer, which you may or may not be familiar with, but you probably use on a regular basis. One of the big ones is a remote procedure call, which is where we use functionality from a library that exists on another system. So an application on one system can make a procedure call or a function call to a library that exists on another system and actually make use of the information that exists on the other system through that library. A number of other protocols that fall into that you may be familiar with include NetBIOS and PPTP, as well as some of the AppleTalk protocols as well. It really fits in with the layer 5 of the OSI model, and it goes into the application layer when we're talking about the TCP/IP architecture. Coming up, we'll be looking at some of the different protocols that fit into this layer, but remember, the services that we're really talking about primarily when we're talking about the session layer are things like authentication and authorization, as well as session management, creation, termination, restoration, all of those sorts of things. So that's really what we're talking about when it comes to the session layer.